Happy Monday, my friends. I am going to have a pretty chill yet stressful day today. There's not a ton on the schedule. I've already done some stuff this morning. It's 10 a.m. right now, so I finished all of my edits that I had for my shoots from last week. I reached out to all the people who I had been talking with that I just hadn't heard from. I scheduled some shoots for February, which is really, really cool. I have some really cool stuff coming up that way. And then I have a call with a yoga studio around here at 12:30. And then I have another meeting at 3 o'clock with a wedding videography business, pretty much. I don't like having a bunch of free time. If I have more than 2 hours of space in between shoots, calls, whatever, I try my best to find a way to put something in there, whether that's me practicing color grading, whether that's me doing drone content, making a YouTube video. I'm trying my best to keep from just sitting and doing nothing. So yeah, I think this would be a good excuse to go out and do some stuff.
Hello.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing so well. Thank you so much for taking some time to meet with me. I don't know. I really want to help people, and I have to figure out how to help people but still make money, because if I keep not charging what I need to charge, I'm literally going to go out of business. But at the same time, I think there's so much value in being able to help somebody that I feel needs it. And God's been good. He's really been giving me opportunity to do both. For example, a lot of the videos that I've ended up doing for free are the same videos that have done really well on social media, and I've gotten money from views. So it's even though I didn't charge somebody for that amount, or I didn't charge somebody at all, I still made that same amount of money or even more money back, So it's stuff like that happens, and I'm dang, maybe I'm doing it for the right reason. Maybe I should keep doing stuff like this, but I also need to find a way just to consistently make money and have that security, So I got to figure out, that is grimy. I got to figure out the best way to do that, and I got a long way to go, bro. Make sure you always have business cards on you. I try to keep one on my car at all times, because I just saw a really cool car right here. Well, kinda. It's a Hyundai Genesis. Looks like a 2.0, maybe a 3.0. And I'm gonna leave a business card. And if they want photos of it, the way they've souped it up, they look like they would want some. Then who knows? Maybe it'll turn into something. But you'll never know if you're not leaving stuff out. So just something to think about. Keep business cards on you. Maybe you'll get work. We're headed to this meeting now that I was talking about for the wedding stuff. I'm actually going in person to this meeting instead of doing it on the phone, so I'm not going to really get any content from it, but I'll make sure to fill in once we're out. But I think it's just a cool opportunity. I don't fully know exactly what's going on with it. It kind of just seems like they need help, they've outgrown what they can do on their own, and they're just looking for people to help them, but not necessarily as an employee, more contractual type of work. So if that's what it is, that'll be dope, because it'll just be hopefully consistent gigs, that if stuff is going slow, or if I don't have time for my own thing, pick that up. So if that's what it is, that'd be really, really dope. But obviously I won't know till the meeting. There's really just a lot that I want to do today, but it's 3 o'clock and the sun is about to go down. The days go by so quick, and it's so easy to feel overwhelmed. It's so easy to feel you're not doing anything. It's the small things that take forever, drafting a contract that makes sense. That took me an hour and a half today, just because I don't do that stuff regularly. Or reaching out to brands, that took forever today, and it's why? Because I'm making up this contract. I'm figuring out the best way to market myself. I'm trying to research which brands I want to work with. So it's doing all of those things is taking up so much time to where I'm not finishing the big things that I'm used to finishing on time, or finishing them as quickly. So the day is gone, and I've actually been very, very productive today, and I haven't even really taken any breaks, but I still feel I didn't do much. So I just pulled up into this random parking lot on the way home, because look at this Bronco out here, dude. Oh my gosh. This thing is so clean, so I figured I'll just come in really quick and ask if they need any type of photo or video or whatever. I see they're hiring for a mechanic, but who knows? Maybe they need some photos to showcase their work or something like that. So I'm gonna just go and ask, and maybe it'll turn into something, maybe it won't. That's how right now I'm gaining people, just asking. So let's do it. All right, so I took photos of the Bronco. I met the owner, super dope. I'm gonna try my best to print out the photos really quick so I can give to him, just to like, that extra bit of, all right, yeah, here, I don't know, just that extra bit of like, wow, like set myself apart from everybody else. So I'm about to import them right now, and then I told him like 5 to 10 minutes to take photos, so I'm gonna have to really do this fast, but I think I'm gonna be able to, and I think it's gonna be really dope. All right, I finished taking the photos, and they're printing out right now. Everything seems to be working okay. I was out of a battery, but thank the Lord I had another one. I'm so glad I came. I literally was just about to drive by, and I don't know. I have a good feeling. I don't know, but I have a good feeling. I just got back to the car. Dude, this is going to be wild. They are building the most insane Broncos I have ever seen in my life. I took a bunch of clips on the X4, so hopefully I'll add those in right now if it looks good. But like, genuinely the craziest Broncos I've ever seen, like bunches of them. Like one of them's going to GSP as like a showroom car type thing. Like it's just like absolutely insane. They're so chill, really good people. Just like took an hour away from their business just to show me around, and like let me like look around, take photos, all that kind of stuff. I'm so grateful that I pulled over and like came in here, because let's go. Okay, I'm like still shaking. I don't know why. I'm always nervous, whatever, but that was literally so dope. Like I can't get over just I didn't have to go in. There was no reason for me to go in besides me just being curious and wanting to network. And now I really think that it's going to turn into work. Like he literally was just kind of like, yeah, we just need exposure. We're looking for ways to showcase the stuff we have, the things that we do. And he was just kind of like, yeah, we want to make some videos. We want to take some photos just to show people we're out here. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I do, like I'm trying not to geek out, because I'm like, that's just like, talk about God just saying here, like literally just saying, hey, I know you're hungry, here's food. I know you're trying, here. Like I can't get over that. Like, yeah, thank you, literally thank you so much. Like I can't get over it. Like I can't get over it. So I'm hoping that it'll turn to something cool, and then hopefully we'll be able to like do something more consistent. Also, the meeting with Caleb went really well. Long story short, they need to dial back a little bit when it comes to like their wedding stuff. So they're just looking to hire somebody on to start helping out with that. So I can either go full-time or part-time. They're gonna train me up, and then I'll just start doing stuff with them. And what's nice is there's a lot of flexibility for like me to be able to choose which wedding and what not wedding. So ideally, this is like really good for me. I'm gonna be able to like pick and choose the days that I can do a wedding or can't do a wedding. And if I'm doing it part-time, then I'll be making good money. If I'm doing it full-time, I'll be making it even more money. And what's nice though is like full-time isn't like 40 hours a week. Full-time means I'm like consistently doing their weddings. So every other weekend or something, every weekend, whatever it is, like let's say I do 2 weddings every single month, that's good money, and I don't have to edit, I don't have to do any of that. So that's literally perfect. All right, so I finished making this contract for this photo shoot I'm doing in February, and I'm trying to figure out how to go about doing an invoice. I've never done an invoice before. I usually just, take money. So now that I have an LLC, I want to start doing invoices. And what I've done is I've just used PayPal. Like I made a business PayPal account, and I'm just planning on using that. But I feel like that feels somewhat unprofessional. I don't think it's a big deal right now. Obviously, I can keep using this until, I step my game up or whatever. But what do you guys use for this? Like, how do you do invoices?
Like, is it just a matter of like, I need to just go ahead, get a bank account, and obviously I need to do that, but like, I know like writing checks and whatnot, it's just like, but what does that look like, the money side of it? Like, after I'm getting money, like how, like even receipts, like are people using Squarespace, PayPal? Are you like paying someone, like a third party, whatever? Like, what does that look like? Because right now I'm just gonna use this until I figure out like what's better. But I mean, like, this is nice because like it's free. I mean, I guess I'll pay like a fee when I get paid, like a small percentage or whatever, but I feel like this is the easiest thing to use, and I don't really have time to like research every possible thing, you know, just because you never know what's like for real, like what's actually out there. So if you guys have some insight, like please let me know. I forgot to turn the light on. You probably can't even see me. Dang it. Man, what are you doing, Kenya? My bad, y'all. I looked at the camera, I was like, your boy is dark. There we go. Now we have light. My bad, y'all. Hey, Nia, I'm about to send my first invoice. It literally says invoice number 0001. That's crazy.
See you guys. Get out of here.
I just got out of the meeting with Nia's boss. It went well, but I just need to do a little more research. Pretty much, he's just wanting to make sure that I have a way to track all the KPI in everything that I'm doing, which makes sense with how much money I offered him. And pretty much, I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do that, since they're already pushing different funnels and different ways to gain leads. So it's like, I do think everything that I do will contribute to that, but I think it'll be more complementary versus is it actually the cause for something. So I need to do some research to figure out how people are tracking that exactly and the best way to show that to a potential client. Overall, I think it went pretty well. And now I am in the parking lot of this local Q place in Greenville. We're having like this business networking event thing. So yeah, I was invited to that by the same dude. So I'm gonna go to that, and hopefully I can just talk to some people, learn about what people do, you know, give out some business cards. I have no idea what to expect. That meeting was actually really, really cool. I've never been part of something like that with so many business owners, so many creatives just doing stuff together. And it was really encouraging because a lot of them are pretty successful. The numbers they were showing for like all the businesses put together, I was like, whoa. So I don't know if that's something that I'll like be part of. I don't really know how that works. I don't think I understand business, or I'm in far enough to be able to join something like that. But I did speak to a photographer who I've seen their work, and she was at this, she's part of that. And she pretty much was just kind of like, hey, like there's a lot of like tools that you can use to learn how to run your business, how to do all these things. And it's what I used, and they helped me so much. So I'd love to give you that contact. I'd love to like promote that for you. So I was like, yes. So, I mean, I'm sure it's going to cost money and stuff, but I think it would be really nice to have some type of like guidance, because I mean, I've done a lot on my own. I've made it this far on my own, but I'm not trying to go fast. I'm trying to go far.
Talking to me.
Nobody's watching.
Hello, people.
Hey.
I was talking to you people.
Oh. It's the end of the week. It's been a really slow week, and it's been kind of hard. I'm going to be honest, just for me, with how slow it is. I feel like last week I was just busy every day, having calls every day, all kind of stuff. And then this week was just like, not that it was like uneventful, but I feel like I spent most days editing or most days like planning out future stuff. And that's fine, like don't get me wrong, but I don't know, it was just kind of scary, like knowing that a week could be this slow. Like I didn't make any money this week as far as like actual like media agency stuff, you know, but like I did a lot. So it's like, I mean, I guess I'll make some revenue like on YouTube and like TikTok and stuff, but it's just like, I don't know, it hit me really hard. Like, dang, I really gotta make sure like I'm on top of everything, and that I gotta make sure I have a way to be okay on slow weeks just as good as like I'm okay on like big weeks. So yeah, it was just a wake up call, I think, for me, because I knew I'd have slow weeks, but it just hits a little different when you don't really have a way to control it, you know? It's like I'm outreaching, I'm still doing stuff, but you have to find a way to, I don't know, just to like in the slow season still be consistently getting people. And that's like a really hard thing to do. I don't know how businesses do that. And I know a lot of people like shut down and stuff. And obviously for me, it's not that serious, but yeah, it's going to be a lot of work to figure out how to handle that. But it's all good. Let's go into a Q&A. This one's going to be pretty short because I have to drive to Spartanburg, literally like an hour away, to take photos for like 5 minutes and then come right back. So me and my wife can go to this little like housewarming thing. So yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out something like that too, because I have a lot of people that I do stuff with in Spartanburg, but I just can't. Yeah, 2 hours for literally like 15 minutes is just, that's a lot. So we're gonna have to figure that out. But let's go into it. Question number 1. Let's see where we left off last time. A lot of these are just like random stuff, like when do you want to shoot my car? Where are you from? I don't think people know I can't see who writes these messages. But anyway, where are you from? The big KE. How to afford a Sony? I have an M50, and even that was hard to get my hands on. That's actually a really good question. Not specifically Sony or how to specifically afford a camera, but just how to afford gear. Something I'm still trying to figure out, because truth be told, like, people say gear's not important, but that's a lie. Gear is very important, and it isn't as important as the creator. Don't get me wrong. Like, somebody who has more skill with worse gear will always be better than someone who has less skill with better gear. But like, the glass you have completely changes your photos, you know? Like, if you don't have an ND filter, your videos are gonna suck. If you don't have a gimbal, like, it's gonna be shaky. Like, whatever situation you're in, gear definitely matters. And I think it's just a matter of getting more and more clients and saving up the bread, to be honest. It's like, whenever I got my camera, it was cool, but there was a lot of things that I needed, and I just didn't have money to afford it. So I would just put away money from every single piece of like shoot that I did, and eventually I would try to upgrade something or try to, go higher. Like, even like these mics, like the DJI Mic 2s is what I use, and for the longest time I was just using my phone. Like, I would just like have my phone up like this, and I made enough content to where I started making money from like views on like social media, and that's what I used to like buy my mics, So it's like, could I have spent it with like regular money? Yeah, I guess I could have. But I think if you're investing back into your company or your business by the money you're making from your business, it hits a lot different. Like, it hits a lot harder. You'll really start to understand like how important it is for you to grind. So just do work, man. Like, with your M50, whatever that is, I don't even know what camera that is, but like, I promise you can take really good photos with that. You can take good videos with that. It might not be, commercial level, but you'll still be able to do it. You'll still be able to charge money, and then with that money, like, just save up, and then buy. Or, I mean, I was working 2 jobs, like I had my full-time job, and then I was doing photo and video on the side. So like, if push comes to shove, then you could do that too, like, put the extra work in. But yeah, don't get too focused on gear, bro. Like, it's important, like, it really is, but I promise you, it's not as important as you think. Like, the worst thing you can do is spend all this money to get a new camera, and then your photos look exactly the same. Speaking from experience. Yeah. All right, number 2. How do you know what settings to use for each scenario? What settings to use for each scenario? If you're talking about camera settings, then just learn to shoot in manual mode. You got to do a lot of practice figuring out exactly how to get the exact type of look you're looking for. So I do a lot of tutorials on these on my TikTok. If you want to go like check that out, you'll see a lot of good stuff there. But it's really just understanding, like, what do you want your background to be? Like, what is your aperture going to be? What do you want your like creativeness to be in it? Like, do you want it to be shaky? Do you want it to be blurry? Do you want it to be smooth? Like, do you want it to be like cinematic? Like, so what is your shutter speed going to be? And then ISO is just like brightness and whatnot. But it really is just understanding like what setting does what. So for example, if you're going to do something that's moving fast, you're going to want your shutter speed really, really high. And if you understand shutter speed, you'll know, all right, is it good to have it at like 150? Is it good to have it at like 3000? Like, you'll be able to understand what scenario works best. If you want to be creative, let's say you want to put like some motion blur in your photos, but in an artistic way, like, you'll know what to change. If you want the background to be blurry, you'll know what to change. If you want your, it to be really dark, like a silhouette, you'll know what to change. So it's just going out, like putting in the reps and like shooting, like practice, because you can like learn it like on YouTube. You can go and be like, all right, if I'm 85 millimeters away and I'm using a 50 millimeter lens and I'm at 1.4 or 4 1.4, you know, whatever it is, like you'll be able to know exactly what to place those settings at. But what's really hard is when you're in the moment, it's easy to like be discombobulated. It's really easy to like start panicking when something doesn't look the way you want it to look or how you feel like it should look. And I think just putting the reps in will help you get to that point. Man, I can't tell you how many times I'm in a photo shoot and I don't know what my camera is doing, but there's people in front of me smiling, waiting for me to take a photo. So I'm like pretending like, oh, just let me fix the setting, you know, and it's like it's not even close to what I'm trying to do. Like I'm just sitting there internally like crap, you know, like what do I do? So yeah, just put the reps in and you'll be okay. How do I edit pics to make them look better, and how do I know what to edit on a pic? Honestly, this would be a very, very, very long answer, but if you go on my page under my editing playlist, I have tutorials, like full tutorials where I'm walking through they're all pretty much all of my things are automotive, but just walking through exactly what I do from start to finish when I'm editing a photo, and like what I look for, the things I change, like stuff like that. So go check that out if you want to see that. Presets, I have presets actually. I've been giving some of those out. Excuse me. I'll start actually putting them, I think, like linked below, hopefully soon. But yeah, I have presets if you guys are looking for that. My advice, to be fully honest, is you can create your own presets like very easily. But hey, if you want to use mine, hey, I'll take your money. What did you start with? With all the gears and gadgets, how did you put yourself out there? I started with a Samsung Galaxy S6. I got it as a graduation present when I graduated from high school. And that is all I used for the longest time. If you meet any of my friends from college, like freshman and sophomore year, they'll literally tell you like, yeah, like Kenya was just filming everything all the time. Like I always had my phone like this. Every intramural game, every like just time we would go eat at like Shaletta or something, you know, like every single, or the dining hall, sorry, I don't know what that is. But when we go eat at the dining hall or wherever, it was just like, I always had my phone. I thought it was the craziest thing. I remember like when I first got it, I went to an aquarium, and I would put the phone like against the glass, like, you know, like literally like against it. And I thought it was so cool how clear it was. But what's crazy is like, I didn't understand how stuff worked. So like I had all the like lines from the, you know, the lights and stuff like in the video, and I didn't know what was going wrong, and I didn't know what was happening. But I just was like amazed how good the camera was. And I used that for a while. And then eventually like I upgraded to a Sony a6400, and that's where I learned how to do everything. That's how I learned how to do video, how to do photo. That's what I learned what like NDs were. That's what I learned. Shutter speed, manual mode, aperture, ISO, composition. Like I learned everything on that camera, and then I started making money from it. So then that's when I was like, all right, let me invest a little bit more. Let me go a little bit more. But I think the cool thing about starting off is that people know you suck, you know, like if it's your first time, like if it's you just started a page, created a page, like people know you're not that good, and like use that to your advantage, you know, like reach out to people and just be like, hey, I'm learning, I just started, like do you have any advice, like what can I do to fix this, what can I do to improve? And you'll be surprised how many people actually help you. And that's what I even do online. I'll just be like, hey, I'm trying to find new clients, like have any advice? And I don't get as much work from that as I want to, but the business owners that I've been able to meet and honestly get true advice from has been priceless. So just be humble. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And yeah, try it on your own, like put in the work, but just know that people are going to help you. Like people who have actually made it, people who have actually been successful and have grinded for that. Like they didn't just like, you know, get gifted 1,000, you know, like whatever, like cameras, or they didn't get gifted like $1 million. Like, no, people who actually put in the work, figured out how to do your craft, the same craft you want to do, like will help you because they're going to see themselves in you. So don't be afraid to ask people for help. I'm gonna do 2 more real quick because I'm running out of time. Who's your inspo? I don't think I have an inspiration, to be fully honest. growing up, I really struggled with like just identity issues. Even now I struggle with them, like figuring out who I am, like what I want to be, all these things. And it's gotten a lot better. And I've realized as I've gone older that I don't really want to be like anybody else. And I think that's a really hard thing for me to do. I'm a people pleaser and I'm trying to work on that. So it's like, it's really easy for me to like look online and be like, oh, I want that to look like this, or I want me to be like that person. Or it was really easy for me to be jealous too of other people's success. Like I'm like, dang, that photo got 100,000 likes. I feel like mine's better, you know, like why didn't I get that? Or even like YouTube, you know, like sometimes I'm like, man, people really don't be watching my videos, you know, like my long form stuff. Like some people do, don't get me wrong. Like some videos go really like viral or they just, you know, like do well. And I'm very grateful for that. But I haven't figured out yet how to like captivate people consistently, you know? And I think sometimes I'll watch a video on YouTube and I'm just kind of like, man, I feel like that was really good, but I feel like mine is on par with that. Like I wonder why I'm not getting the same type of love, you know? So it's like, I think it's really easy for me to fall into that like trap of like self-doubt and I don't know, not punishment, but just like really being hard on myself. So because of that, I kind of try not to compare myself to anybody. I always like get, you know, like, oh man, like I want to try that thing that I saw or whatever, but there's not anyone specific who I'm just kind of like, dang, I really want to be like that, or I really want to like make my stuff like that person's, because I'd rather make it mine, if that makes sense. All right, last one. What camera bag to get that can fit a camera plus a gimbal? Oh, plus a gimbal. Honestly, bro, I don't know if that exists. Like maybe if you were fitting a gimbal like outside of its casing, then you could maybe get something that big. But like gimbals are big, dude. Like let's say you're getting like a Ronin R3 or a R2 or something, even like a S, like the smaller one. I feel like most camera bags are pretty compact, like on purpose. So you'd have to get like maybe like the Peter McKinnon bag, the really big one, or even like the camera bags that look like duffel bags you might be able to fit. But you're kind of defeating the purpose at that point, you know. My advice would just be like to use a book bag, and like carry your camera like in a case. Like so like get like a Pelican case that's small or something, put your camera and your lens in that, and then just put that in the bottom of a book bag, and then throw your gimbal in a regular book bag, like something normal, like a North Face or like a, you know, like a what's it called, Janport or something, like just something regular. Because in all of my camera bags, there's no way my gimbal is fitting in there. There's literally no chance whatsoever. So yeah. Yeah, sorry dude, I wish I could be more help, but if you find one, let me know, I guess is what I should say. But wow, yeah, I'm running out of time. I gotta go. We're learning. We're really figuring stuff out slowly by slowly. And it's a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be. And I really thought it was gonna be difficult. Like I thought it was gonna be a big struggle. And it really is a lot harder than I thought that was going to turn out to be. So if you guys have advice, or if you're liking the video or hating the videos, just let me know. I'd love to hear from you guys. I want to improve. And like I said earlier, it's like I don't want to act like I know what I'm doing, because I promise you I don't. I really have a lot to figure out, and I have a lot to like understand when it comes to just like being a business person, being a captivator, being an online presence in general. So I'm open and willing to hear anything and everything people have to say. So if you're new here, welcome. If you've been here for a minute, I appreciate you guys, and I will see you next time. Deuces.